Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respectable to Professor Selamat Setiawan as our supervisor in this class and all my beloved friends. In this nice opportunity, I would like to present about the research written by Akin Kurole Susan from University Ila Ife, Nigeria. In this research, she conducted the research on the title of a pragmastylistic analysis of Chinua Achebe's Arrow of God. And actually, the Chinua Achebe is one of the famous and best-known novelists in Nigeria and Africa, and also one of his phenomenal novel is Arrow of God. Let's talk further about this. And there are so many points that I would like to talk about, comprises and beginning with the introduction, followed by statement of the problem, and then aim and objectives of the study, and also the researcher formulated research questions as well, and what kind of linguistic approach used in this research, and research methodology within the contextualization of Above of God and presentation of extracts. Also, textual analysis and discussion is provided as well, and also the researcher uh, provides the recommendations and also conclusion in the end of the research. Let's begin with the introduction. In this section, the researcher tried to mention why she conducted the research. There are so many reasons, such as the first is in order to achieve the goal of criticism in terms of literary text, and also how can the linguistic features are interpreted through the text. And the second reason why, because the researcher was curious and also interested in investigating the Chinua Achebe's literary works, such as in this case is Evo of God. And actually, there are so many novels that created by Chinua Achebe, such as Things Fall Apart as the first novel, and then the second No Longer at Ease, and then the third Arrow of God, and so on and so forth. And actually, why the researcher interested in investigating the Chinua Achebe's Arrow of God, because in this case, the novel used the fascinating words, or it makes the fascinating to people in all his contents and also his works. And additionally, the researcher tried to reiterating or reiterate him or remembering him, such a kind of renewing his incredible works. And actually, the Chinua Achebe was born in Anambra State in Nigeria in 1930 and passed away in 2013. And there are examples of covers from the oldest one to the newest one. There are a lot of versions of the covers. Chinua Achebe, Arrow of God. And the statement of the problem, the researcher tried to investigate this kind of research and also consider the previous studies such as from Abuya and also Dida. Abuya stated that the pragmatistic analysis, the Abuya focus the research on pragmastylistic analysis of the President Goodluck Jonathan. It means that focus on speech act theory. It's same as data They undertake the pragmastylistic analysis uh, of John by bringing the four speech acts focus. And then the researcher here tried to bridging the gap by dwelling on lexical devices employed in various contexts of the novel for the purpose of emphasizing the pragmatic implication. And the research questions, here there are research questions such as what stylistic items are foregrounded in Chinua Achebe's era of cut, and what pragmatic functions do the foregrounded stylistic items perform in the text, and how are they relevant to the thematic construction of meaning in the text. We would like to talk about this further. And also aim and objective of the study. Uh, Actually, the researcher has goals and aim. The first is to identify, and the second is to examine, and the third is relate them to the context. It means that identify the foregrounded stylistic items and examine the identified item in the text and relate them to the context of language use for the purpose of highlighting their significances. And how the researcher conducted the research is obviously stated in the paper. The first is the theory used is Halliday and Hassan as used in Blur and Blur about lexical cohesion, and the data were collected through the parallel lexical items, and then the 10 select extract that are significant to the thematic preoccupation. And then the focus of this research is focus only on lexical items, and the method the researcher tried to conducted the research by identifying and then categorizing and analyzing as specifically as descriptive method or qualitative method. But before we go into further about the textual analysis in this research, we'd better to know what is lexical cohesion. According to Noonan, lexical cohesion happens when two words in a text are semantically related in some ways, or another word that are related in terms of their meaning. While Halliday um, uh, refers the lexical cohesion as the cohesive effect that achieved by the selection of vocabulary or the achieved by the selection of diction. And thus, lexical cohesion refers to the reader perceived unity of text that achieved by the authors with the related meaning. And the linguistic approach that is used in this research is pragmastylistic. Okay, and then according to Jules, pragmatics itself is appropriateness of linguistic choice to the context and discovers the speaker's intended meaning. And combined with the stylistic is the scientific study of style of all forms of spoken and written text. And according to Hickey, pragma involves the study of all conditions and of all the linguistic and extra-linguistic. Thus, the pragmastylistic is simply stylistic with the pragmatic focus. It is stated by Alawaja in 2012. So I can infer that the pragmastylistic and then the linguistic approach that is used by this kind of research is about the use of language that infer by the context. And contextualization of Error of God is about the theme, about the setting, and it's about the what is story tells about. what the story tells about, and about the theme is in how it both spirituality and religious life and dies when they're confronted by Christianity. It means that in this case, in the Abba of God, the themes are uh, emerge. Obviously, is about the spirituality, about religion, and about the political power. And what is the setting of Abba of God? And actually, the setting is happened in 1920s in Nigeria after the pacification period, or it's long or far from independence, or long before independence. It's about 1920s. And the core about the contextualization of Era of God is the story, and actually tells about the leader uh, called Azulu. Azulu here as a leader. The story about the leader who fell to fight the truth is kind of the contextualization of the law of God. And then presentation of extracts, the researcher uh, tried to extract in 10 extracts, and these extracts were collected through the novel, from the novel. Let we check in the first extract, or extract one here. Azul went into his barn and took down one yam, here in page 3, and you can check it. You can check it. Wait, in Chinua Achebe. Okay, here in page 3. This is the novel. Mm, here in page 3. Okay, we found it. Azulu went into his barn and took down one yam. And then it's about the repetition that we'd like to talk further about this later. About the extract, also 5. And, what about the textual analysis and discussion? Um, there are 5 types that found in this research. The first is about repetition, synonymy, antonymy, hyponyms, and collocation. Repetition is repeat the words twice or 2 times in order to enhance the clarity and emphasis. And then synonymy is refers to the sameness in the meaning of words, while antonymy is opposite in meaning of words. And hyponyms belongs to the same larger group or subordinate of the words. And collocation, an expression for words that co-occur in the same linguistic environment. And there are the data that found in this research. Repetition such as yam and ate that uh, that found in extract 1, and I, friend, questioner that found in extract 3, and so on and so forth. It's about the synonymy like cool, cold that found in extract 2, and man and husband that found in extract 4. And also the antonymy, cool and heat that found in extract 2, men and women uh, found in extract 4 and so on and so forth. After the hypernyms, it's like 12, 8, 3, it's like a number, and also December and mid-February as regarded as months of the year that found in extract uh, 2. And the collocation here, the example such as barn yams and coat and harmattan. This is the related word actually. And about the repetition, such as yam, ate, and also good, and day, refuse, and see that found in each extracts that actually the author tries to ensure the simplicity as much as possible and also try to enhance the clarity and emphasis. This is the purpose why the the author of this kind of novel used the repetition. And then the second about the synonymy, and actually we find the synonyms such as cool and cold and men and husbands and so on and so forth. There are such as a relation or yeah have the relationship within the context. So for example, like man and husband. Actually, the man and husband are have the same meaning as a person who has the responsibility in the community, and so on and so forth. What about antonymy is such as man and women and good and bad. And actually, this antonymy is the author try to show the variety of conflicts that happen in the novel, and also to show there are a bunch of various uh, conflicting issues. And then the hyponyms such as 12, 8, and 3 regarded as a number, and December, mid-February, as regarded as months of the year, and so on and so forth. And the hyponyms also to show the trends of, of the colonial through the novel. So the author tries to um, show the trends at the through the novel and in this era and that era. And then the collocation here, such as Born and Yam and Kut and Hamilton. And actually, Born and Yam here are related. The meaning has the related meaning, and then Kut and Harmattan also have the related meaning. For your information, that Harmattan is a season in West Africa, so it means that like a weather that arise in that area. For the recommendation, and actually the researcher, in conclusion, the researcher make a recommendation to expand, to make a wider, to make in the deep analysis, not only on the lexical cohesive, also not only in lexical cohesive, but also in the grammatical cohesive, for example, in the wider one, and to approach the linguistic features. And then the conclusion from the research that the lexical devices is one of the major ways in unraveling the meanings that are foregrounded in any literary text, and the employment of lexical cohesion devices has performed significant pragmatic function in the novel. It means that the the researcher here uh, elaborated that the Chinua Achebe was able to skillfully employ the basic cohesive items to relate the experience or the surface or the environment of the people during the colonial period in Nigeria at that time and the 1920s. And then that's all Thank you very much for your best attention. If you don't like someone's story, write your own. This is from Chinua Achebe. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.